Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Spirit of Justice. Previously, we determined the truth of Soren's condition. He has a brain disorder due to a car crash that killed his sister, where every day he wakes up having completely forgotten all memories. For Soren, every single day feels like the day right after that fatal car crash. Highly traumatic. And so, the guy meticulously details every event that happens to him in his journal. But we raised the point that there was a window of time that Soren did not have control of his journal. In fact, we gave it to Pierce Nickety, the butler. And I'm suspecting that Pierce he has a knack for mimicking handwriting, which throws the contents of the journal into huge question. Namely, the journal was serving as his testimony, pretty much. And to that end, we looked closely at the journal, and a big message was found in it. I killed Gloomsbury, the victim in this case, so that's not good. We got Pierce Nickety on the stand. Hopefully we can get into, just dig down here and find the truth. That's what's most important. So, let's continue. Let's see. First, why did Gloomsbury attack Ellen? Because he was tired of taking the blame for the accident? Huh. But something about that line of reasoning just doesn't feel quite right to me. No? How come? Well, if it's just a personal vendetta, he had already stabbed Soren. So why then was he so determined to go after Ellen? You're right. This whole thing feels too premeditated for a crime of passion. But Gloomsbury didn't seem to have a personal grudge against Ellen. If Gloomsbury didn't have a personal reason to attack Ellen, then... You've taken long enough, Mr. Wright. Now it's time for some action. What proof do you have that a third person was involved? Alright, I'll show you. I'm not completely sure of what I'm doing yet, but it looks like I'm out of time. This piece of evidence proves the involvement of a third person. Well, they just showed it to me. Yeah, this writing is smudged as though written by a right-handed person. The court currently believes this was written by Gloomsbury, but Gloomsbury is left-handed, we know that for sure. And plus, Gloomsbury didn't really have a motive to go after Ellen, so I think this is it.
Take that!
I get it now. Now I see why this note bothered me so much when I first saw it. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. That note was apparently written by the victim. But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Your Honor, please take a look at this note. This is the victim's murder plan, right? It's definitely a murder plan, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury didn't write this note himself? What? This is how you intend to conjure up your mysterious third party, Mr. Wright. Can you even prove that note wasn't written by the victim? Yes. Yes, I can. Very well then. Please present your evidence, Mr. Wright. This evidence proves the victim didn't write the note. I want to say it's this. Even though I think it makes way more sense to hold a light source in your non-dominant hand, earlier the game was saying that Gloomsbury must have held this in his dominant hand, so here we go.
Take that!
This is the weapon Mr. Gloomsbury used to stab Mr. Sprocket. I was wondering what you'd pull out this time. Dare I ask what that could possibly have to do with the note? Mr. Gloomsbury's prints were found on this candelabra, and the prints were from his left hand. So that makes the victim left-handed, correct? Exactly, Your Honor. The police looked into it too and confirmed as much. Now, take a look at the smudged writing in this note. Notice how the smudging only starts from the middle of each preceding line. Had this been written by a lefty, the writing would be smudged from the far left end. This means that whoever wrote this note was definitely right-handed. In other words, somebody other than the victim wrote this note. What? But if someone other than Mr. Gloomsbury wrote it, then what does this note mean? Mr. Gloomsbury followed this note to the letter when he attacked Miss Wyatt. So clearly this note isn't a murder plan written by Mr. Gloomsbury, but rather, these are instructions to kill Miss Wyatt issued by somebody else.
Objection!
If it wasn't the victim who wrote these so-called instructions, then who wrote it? Most of the people involved are right-handed, you know. He is correct. The majority of the family and their employees who were on the airship are indeed right-handed. I must say that is a very rough and slipshod conjecture you proposed. I admit I haven't figured out who wrote it just yet. Leave it to Mr. Edgeworth to go for the jugular. This culprit who ordered Gloomsbury to attack Ellen, what could their motive have been? It doesn't seem very likely Ellen did anything to incur anybody's wrath, right? Right. Not too likely, anyway. In that case, it has to be about Soren. If somebody were to hold a grudge against Soren, what would it be about? That accident, I'd guess. I could understand if Gloomsbury felt resentful about having to take the blame. But the one who lost the most to that accident was Soren's sister. She lost her life, after all. Soren suffered too, of course. He was crushed by losing somebody so precious to him. Somebody precious, huh? Soren's sister. Wait, there's one more person. There's someone else who must hold a grudge against Soren. The surgeon groom? Soren's spouse? I mean, not Soren's spouse, Selena's spouse, yeah. Did you figure something out? I think so. I think this somebody else used Gloomsbury to try and get revenge against Soren. Did you say somebody tried to get revenge against Mr. Sprocket, Mr. Wright? The person who manipulated and used Mr. Gloomsbury was Selena's fiancé. The person who used Mr. Gloomsbury to try and get revenge on Mr. Sprocket. Oh. Okay, So the surgeon quit his job because he couldn't hack it. He couldn't deal with the grief. And we know that Pierce Nickedy is a recent hire. But we're talking about Selena's fiancé. The entire family would know exactly who the fiancé was. So would that mean that Pierce, if he truly is the surgeon out for revenge, he'd have to have some kind of crazy disguise he's been wearing this entire time. I swear to God, if he did like face reconfiguring surgery on himself, I'm gonna flip. And then finished Mr. Gloomsbury off to silence him, was a man dear to Mr. Sprocket's older sister, Selena Sprocket's fiancé. The pocket watch! Oh! Oh shit, okay. I get it. Alright. Okay, the pocket watch cinches it. Oh, it is right there. I wondered why Pierce had that locket. Oh, that's really good. Not that I'm not positive, but it's certainly possible this fiancé could have made Gloomsbury attack Ellen to get his revenge on Soren. What? Her fiancé? Order in the court! Order, I say! Yes, it does seem quite believable that Miss Selina Sprocket's fiancé would bear a grudge against Mr. Sprocket for his role in the accident. Exactly, Your Honor. Maybe her fiancé was trying to murder Miss Wyatt in order to make Mr. Sprocket experience the same pain he'd felt.
Objection!
Miss Sprocket's fiancé was a surgeon, if memory serves. But the only people who attended the reception were family and staff members. That may be, but then that just means that Miss Sprocket's fiancé must have been among those who attended. What? Really? Of course. Otherwise, how could he have killed Gloomsbury? Oh, I see what you're doing. This is just another giant bluff, isn't it? All right, I'll bite. Who exactly do you claim this fiancé to be? Yes, I would like to know as well. Are you sure you're gonna be okay, Nick? Maybe. When it comes to suspicious people, there's only one person on my list. I need to find something that connects him to Selina. This will help us identify Miss Sprocket's fiancé. Oh man. Oh man, I was meant to put together that the pocket watch was the telltale clue right here, right now. Ah. Yeah!
Take that!
Please take a look at this photo, Your Honor. That photo. He knows. Notice Miss Sprocket's pocket watch. Haven't we seen it somewhere before? Yes. Now that you mention it, I do feel as if I've seen it somewhere before. I believe we've all seen it, right here in this very courtroom. Ugh, impossible. That's right. The pocket watch in this photo is the same pocket watch Mr. Nickety has on him right now. What? This is clear proof of a strong connection between Pierce Nickety and Selina Sprocket. No. Well, Mr. Nickety, is this true? Mr. Nickety, you were once engaged to Selina Sprocket. That pocket watch, you keep it as a memento of her, don't you? Mr. Nickety, you plan to rob Mr. Sprocket of his loved one, to make him feel the same pain as you, isn't that right? But Mr. Sprocket managed to fight back and knocked Mr. Gloomsbury unconscious. You thought Mr. Gloomsbury was dead and hid his body in the lantern. But then you noticed Mr. Gloomsbury regained consciousness. And so you finished him off to prevent your plan from being exposed. This is the defense's take on what really happened in this murder case. Mr. Wright, does this mean you wish to officially accuse this witness of the murder of Dumas Gloomsbury? Does the defense accuse Mr. Nickety of the murder? Well, I smell blood in the water. The defense indicts Pierce Nickety on the charge of murdering Dumas Gloomsbury. Oh my! Mr. Nickety, would you care to respond? Man, this lawyer just yaps on and on and on. As you guessed, this watch is a memento of Selena. It stopped working at the time of the accident, though. Then you really are... Oh, man. Okay, that's cute. Just like Soren, Pierce is stuck at that time as well. That's some good writing right there. Yes, I was Selena's fiancé, and not just her fiancé, but the surgeon beside her deathbed.
Objection!
Mr. Nickety, why didn't you tell me any of this before? Shut it, you useless prosecutor! Yeah, he's dropped all pretenses. I thought you could be of use, but apparently this case was too much for you. What did you say? If your office hadn't stuck its nose all up in this, I could have swept it under the rug. Not only did you interfere with the case, but you even let me fall under suspicion. That's because you kept trying to cover things up on the sly. Huh. But covering things up wasn't your only involvement. The only person who had a motive to use the victim to try and kill Miss Wyatt was you. Yeah! That's really good. He looks way cooler now. Malignant tumors. There are malignant tumors in this courtroom. Lesions oozing with false charges. Ha! Who? The tumors are one idiotic lawyer and one useless prosecutor. After the truth is revealed, I'll have the both of you incised from the legal world. I'd like to see you try. With the power of the Sprocket family, it'd be a cinch. Okay, maybe it's just because this is a Capcom game, but I swear that is a Reaverbot eye from Mega Man Legends. I see it. Oh, that's nostalgic. What the hell? I will now begin the operation. What in the world happened to Mr. Nickety? Looks like he's finally showing his true colors. Nick, look what he did to that shoulder mech. Man, shout outs to Mega Man Legends. Hell yeah. Quit your yapping before I suture your chatty lips shut. It's like he's a completely different person. Sure looks like it, huh? We can't let our guards down now. Mr. Nickety, it's finally time for you to testify. To the truth. It seems we're entering the final act at last. Witness, your testimony, please. Oh no, he's smart. Ha! Mr. Nickety, why didn't you say anything? Ah! You just took a picture of me. Or something. No comment. Oh, please do that for Edgeworth too, please. want me to voluntarily testify, hoping I will make a slip of the tongue. Not a very impressive plan. Or brain, I might add. Ow. That was uncalled for. If you want to know something, you ask the question. I will answer, but I have no intention of making any voluntary statements of my own. What's he trying to do, Nick? He's using the silent treatment as a strategy to avoid getting tripped up. Treatment? Really? Treatment? You had to use the word treatment? Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Clever guy. No more lies, Mr. Nickety. You will tell us nothing but the truth from now on. Yeah! Ugh. What do you think you're doing? The cravat! Yeah! No one asked you to speak. Just keep quiet over there and play with your frills. How dare you? Well, this is a rather unconventional situation, but please proceed, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
Hold it!
If he won't speak voluntarily, then I guess I'll have to ask him something. What question should I ask? Okay. These top two... too offensive. He'd probably clam up. So let's get him to try and speak about innocent actions and catch him in a lie. On the day of the incident, you were constantly surrounded by your subordinates. Is that right? Absolutely. I was in someone's line of sight at all times. After all, I was busy taking care of every detail of the event. Mr. Edgeworth, I believe your investigation backs up my claim. I got statements that said groups of his subordinates worked with him in rotation, so he was always with someone. As the prosecutor just said, I couldn't even get close to the lantern containing Bloomsbury by myself, let alone kill him. Pierce didn't have a chance to get close to the victim alone, huh? Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony? Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have that statement added to his testimony. Very well. I was always in the company of others. I didn't have an opportunity to murder Bloomsbury. That might... Okay. So a long time ago, I noticed how odd it was that Pierce was looking at the peggable lantern that contained the corpse. And it comes to my attention that every single guest has their eyes locked on the newlywed couple. What's more, Pierce has a lot of cover with that dry ice fog. It's nearly enveloped the entire lantern. Not only is no one looking at it, but it's partially obscured. That's some thick fog, by the way. Would it be jumping the gun to show this photo right now? Should I trust my gut? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look at everything just to make sure there's nothing else about Pierce being alone. I'm not sure. Screw it, I'm trusting my gut. If it's not this, I'll try the other options to get other stuff added to the cross-examination. Okay, you know what? Maybe I should just press this first.
Hold it!
So you are always in someone's line of sight. I was surrounded by family members and staff as we prepared for the reception. During the reception, I was stationed behind the sweetheart table to attend to the couple. Okay, this confirms it. When could I have possibly committed murder? I'm not buying it. If Pierce is the true killer, then there must have been some time when he was out of everyone's sight. What do you think, Nick? Is there a chance for us here? Well, as long as we have some kind of testimony from him, there has to be. We'll just have to compare his testimony against the evidence and find an inconsistency, right? Exactly. This is it. I have to do this right. Okay. I do have quite a bit of spare health left. Ooh.
Objection!
Yes! Mr. Nickety testifies that he was always with someone at the time of the incident and never had a moment alone to commit the crime. Yes, and the police investigation backs that statement up, doesn't it? But there was an opportunity. In fact, one and only one. A moment when Mr. Nickety could have killed Mr. Gloomsbury without anyone noticing. What? And the one thing that made that moment possible is shown here in this photograph. With all those people watching, I couldn't have possibly committed murder. Do not believe him, Your Honor. This lawyer is a malignant tumor. He wants to infect this judicial body with virulent... Mr. Nickety, I would ask that you keep quiet this time. We need to evaluate the defense's claim. And your yammering only serves to throw further suspicion your way. Mr. Wright, let's see this one thing you mentioned. But be warned, this had better not be one of your offhanded claims. Who do you think you're talking to, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, Mr. Wright. Please point out for us the one thing that made the moment of the murder possible. That one moment when it was possible for Mr. Nickety to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. The one thing that made that single moment possible is this. Everyone's watching them.
Take that!
Okay, maybe it's the dry ice machine. Okay. That's what's made it possible? And how exactly did it do that, Mr. Wright? Well, first it flings away loose sand with its flippers to make a hole on the beach. And then, eyes glistening with maternal affection, it takes this nest and... Mr. Wright, are you describing how a sea turtle lays her eggs? Uh-oh, I was so focused on answering that I forgot what we were actually talking about. You can't just say whatever comes to mind, you know. It seems you have truly jumped the shark at last, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Ahem, I say.
Take that!
The one thing that made the moment of the murder possible is this thick mood fog that engulfed the entire reception hall. It is under the cover of this fog that Mr. Nickety murdered the victim. What? Mr. Nickety was standing right next to the lantern that Mr. Gloomsbury was in. This was the only moment the murder could have been committed without being seen.
Objection!
I can accept that there was a moment when the witness was obscured from others by fog. But that doesn't prove Mr. Nickety killed the victim at that very moment. If you can't prove the crime was committed during the reception, the trial ends here. I was so caught up in finding a foothold that I forgot to think that far ahead. Well done, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time to call this trial's time of death. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove the murder happened during the reception? Don't even bother. His claim is dead on arrival. Victory is within your grasp, prosecutor. That's dark. I can't believe he... There's only one thing a surgeon could mean when he says dead on arrival. That's dark. That's real dark. What the hell? Quiet, witness. I have no interest in victory. All I care about is the truth. One that we can only arrive at through further deliberation. Edgeworth. Enough of this! Your Honor, this trial is over. No, Mr. Nickety. That is for me to decide. Mr. Wright, can you prove it? Can you prove that the murder was committed during the wedding reception? Why is there no verdict yet? The lawyer's obviously out of answers. The prosecutor, the judge, they're all infected. Their malignant stupidity is so advanced, not even the best surgeons can save them. In fact, not even a brain transplant could cure them. This court is infected with idiocy. It's a pandemic.
Objection!
Mr. Nickety, that's enough already. Finally ready to give up, are you? No, just the opposite, actually. I'll prove the murder was committed during the reception. By you. Ah! You'll prove it? Can you really, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. To be honest, I don't know exactly how I'll do it just yet. But I want to get to the truth Edgeworth was talking about. Just have to find that way. Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's have your proof. Enough of this foolishness. He's just bluffing. Stop him from speaking, Your Honor. I will do nothing of the sort. You are just a district court judge. With the power of the Sprocket family, Enough of your foolishness, Mr. Nickety. This judicial body will not succumb to the influence of money or power. Yeah, you tell him, Judge. I'm proud of you. Now then, let's hear it, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your truth. Think, Phoenix. Remember everything you've learned so far. You can do this. You can find the definitive evidence that will lead us to the truth. Oh, hell yeah. This is it. Oh my god, I'm playing the finale of Ace Attorney right now. Oh my god. Help! Think, Phoenix. How can I prove the murder took place during the wedding reception? If Pierce committed the murder during the reception, then he had to have used the murder weapon. Yes, the weapon that was used to strike the victim twice. According to the autopsy report, the victim was hit by the same object both times. So without a doubt, Pierce used it to commit the murder. The weapon used to kill Gloomsbury was the timekeeper, of course. If Pierce struck the victim during that one single moment, then he must have used the timekeeper. Come to think of it, wasn't it also used for something else during the reception? During the reception, the timekeeper was also used for the first startup of love. The timekeeper had been activated. That's right. The timekeeper had been activated during the reception. If we activate the timekeeper again now and find any trace evidence of the murder, that would be conclusive proof that Groomsbury was killed during the reception. A special ceremony took place during the reception in question. What kind of a special ceremony? It was called the first startup of love. Apparently, the couple activated the timekeeper for the first time during it. Does that mean the timekeeper here in evidence isn't activated at the moment? And what would happen if we were to activate it? Why don't we see for ourselves? It would give us a chance to examine it. And while we're at it, we just might find some conclusive evidence. What? No, you can't activate it. Mr. Nickety, keep quiet or I'll have you thrown out of court. By the way, Mr. Wright, this is supposed to be a time machine, right? We aren't going to travel back in time to the Stone Age or anything, are we? I don't think we have to worry too much about that, Your Honor. I'm still a little nervous, nonetheless, but the truth must be known. Very well, go ahead and start up the timekeeper. Do you know how, Nick? I think so. Maybe. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love, and when they put them together, oh, how romantic it was. Let's see. I think the symbol of the groom's love must be the timekeeper itself. What symbol of the bride's love would fit together with a timekeeper? Oh, I know. That has to be it. Mr. Wright, are you ready to activate the time machine now? Yes, Your Honor. The symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper is...
Take that!
Miss Wyatt's pendant is the symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper. What? Then does that mean you can start it up with a Miss Wyatt's pendant? I believe so, Your Honor. Very well. Please try it now, Mr. Wright. Okay, here I go. But first I have to figure out where the pendant goes. Right here. This hole looks like a good spot. I'll try setting the pendant in here. It fits. This must be the right spot. Now I have to find a place to insert the key. Oh, well, I think it goes right in there, doesn't it? This hole in the middle of the pendant. Could this be it? Well, hello! It worked! The timekeeper's been activated. Now all I have to do is find proof that the crime was committed during the reception. Gee, I wonder what the proof could be. What is it? I don't know. What could it be? Golly. I think I found it. Conclusive evidence that the murder was committed during the wedding reception. Just as I suspected, there is evidence of the murder inside the timekeeper, Mr. Nickety. The timekeeper was only activated and opened during the wedding reception, right? No! Stop! So that means this is conclusive proof that the crime is committed during the reception. Ah! After you killed the victim under the cover of fog, you closed the timekeeper to hide the bloodstain, didn't you? No, you're wrong. Ellen killed Bloomsbury. It wasn't me, I tell you.
Objection!
Give it up, Mr. Nickety. How could the defendant, who was in the middle of pledging her love, have possibly committed the murder with everyone watching her? It was the family. Yes, all of the family members conspired together to kill him.
Objection!
There's no way you can talk your way out of this, Mr. Nickety. During the reception, during that one dreamlike moment, only one person could have used the timekeeper to beat the victim to death. And that one person was you, Pierce Nickety. Ah! No, this isn't over yet. I won't give up. Oh, this is dark. This stupid thing. We must stop the bleeding now. Give me forceps. Forceps, I said. Hey, where is everyone? Fine. I'll manage this alone. I'll do it all by myself. I can fix anything, repair anything. So you have to get better. You have to live. You must. I would have been able to save her. If only I hadn't listened to her. If only I had treated her first. If only that Soren hadn't been there. Selina. No. Ow. This case is so sad. Damn. Witness, are you finally ready to tell us the truth? It's just as the lawyer deduced. So it was all a revenge scheme against Soren Sprocket? Do you have any idea how hard it is to lose someone you love right in front of you? Selina's condition was clearly more critical than Soren's, but in spite of that, she said, "Please help Soren." Miss Sprocket's last words. So that's what she really meant by those words. I was able to grant her wish, but at the price of her life. So you got a job with Sprocket Aviation and waited for your chance to get revenge. You got close to Mr. Gloomsbury and hatched this plot. Is that right? Gloomsbury already bore a grudge against Soren. So when I tempted him with an even better position, he immediately took the bait. He was your accomplice, someone who shared the same goal as you. Why was it necessary for you to kill him? I didn't expect Soren to strike Gloomsbury out of the Vista deck. And I certainly never imagined he'd make his way there along the outside wall. Soren's love is the real deal after all. My plan had been compromised, so for the time being, I hid his body in the lantern and tried to think of my next move. And then Mr. Gloomsbury came too during the second wedding reception. As soon as I saw Gloomsbury, I instantly hit upon an idea. To pin the blame of Gloomsbury's murder on Ellen. You tried to break up the couple by making the bride out to be a murderer. How despicable. Soren was getting the company and a wedding, both things that were supposed to be Selina's. He took every happiness from her. Who's the despicable one here? Do you think what you did would make her happy? I know it wouldn't. But I couldn't just stand by watching Soren enjoy his happiness. I was going to have Soren taste the same pain I had and then take over Sprocket Aviation. I would take back from him all of the happiness that was rightfully Selena's. Time stopped for me the day I lost her. But just like this pocket watch of hers.
Pierce.
Miss Wyatt.
I believe Selena would have said, "Leave this ill will behind. Your time is yours to live."
It's too late for me. Time will never advance for me ever again. What? It can't be. I see now, Selena. What I did was wrong. I see no further need to continue this trial. Bailiff, please take Mr. Nickety away. Here's Nickety, another inconsolable time traveler, who lived in time that stood still. Now then, I must render my verdict regarding the defendant. Your Honor, before you give your ruling, would you please allow me a moment? Very well. Ellen, there's something I need to say to you.
Yes, Soren?
I've put you through something truly horrible. This whole thing happened, all because of me. I would understand if you wanted to call off our marriage.
What? Of course not. I've never once thought that.
If you stay with me, you'll only face even more trying times in the future.
What do you mean?
The truth of this incident and the car accident before it. I'm going to tell the public everything. I expect the company's reputation will suffer, and I'll take a lot of criticism. But I feel I can only really start over once I get everything out in the open.
Soren.
After all that's happened, I might not have the right to ask you this, but... Well, how should I say this? Maybe I'll just... Life with me probably won't be very easy, but... Will you marry me? Aww, that's cute.
Yes, of course.
Your Honor, thank you for this time. Please continue with your ruling. Very well, but first I have one question. Do the two of you pledge your eternal love for each other to the goddess of justice, Themis? I do, Your Honor.
I do.
Does the prosecution or the defense have any objections? Well done, Your Honor. No objections here. The defense has no objections either, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. That's not right. This court finds the defendant, Ellen Sprocket. Not guilty. Yeah! That was great! This court is adjourned. Well, this is the end. I'm gonna tear up. Ellen, Soren, congratulations.
Mr. Wright, I can't thank you enough. If you hadn't exposed the truth, Soren and I wouldn't. We wouldn't. Oh.
But now you can finally start your new life together, right?
Oh, thank you!
Mr. Wright, we'll be holding our real wedding ceremony in the near future. Would you do us the honor of coming to it? I want you to witness our fresh start. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And Ellen, this time it'll finally be happily ever after, right?
Oh, yes.
The two of you have persevered and overcome this trial together. Now, no matter what obstacles come your way, I'm sure you'll be able to handle them. And there's another thing I'm sure of too. This person will always be watching over the two of you.
Take that!
Selena, yes, I think you're right. And we promise to live life to the fullest, for Selena's sake too. Right, Soren?
That's right. Well, we'd better be on our way.
Yes, my love.
Aww. Wow, the old threshold carry, huh? Way to show off. Doesn't he have a crippling gut wound right now? We'll be seeing you. Goodbye for now. I'll be looking forward to that wedding. Hold on tight, Ellen.
You better believe I will. I'm never letting you go.
Oh, come on! But the ceiling's like right there. Oh, okay. There they go. Yeah. You're not thinking of going to that wedding by yourself, are you, boss?
You're taking us too, right? Oh boy, I bet there's gonna be all kinds of fancy food there.
Athena, when did you get here?
Just now. I would have been here to cheer you guys on earlier, but Trucy never gave me a chance to slip away.
You're going to be in even bigger trouble with her later. Speaking of the wedding, maybe I should ask them to invite Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth? Really? But he thought Ellen was guilty all the way to the end.
That may be true, but...
Don't even bother. His claim is dead on arrival. Victory is within your grasp, prosecutor.
Quiet, witness. I have no interest in victory. All I care about is the truth. One that can only arrive at through further deliberation. If he hadn't stood up for us when he did, the trial probably would have ended there.
You mean Mr. Edgeworth gave us that chance?
Maybe. Though, knowing him, I doubt he'd ever tell, even if I asked.
Huh. Well, if that's how you feel about it, Nick, then why not try to get him invited? Hey, Maya, have you ever tried to catch the bouquet? What? No? I never have either. Fighting over a bouquet that's been tossed by the bride. Talk about a fierce competition. I'm totally stoked. I'm not sure it's really supposed to be all that competitive. I'm a pretty good jumper, so I think I've got a chance.
She's definitely missing the point of the whole thing. And Larry, how did you manage to stay so quiet for so long? Shut up! Wishing the lady you fell in love with every happiness is what a real man does. I'm pretty sure that relationship was over before it even began, Larry. Darn it all! If only I was 10 years younger, things would have gone differently. Hands of time, why won't you turn back for me? Oh, well, hello. I would think they would choose a different place, but okay. Today is Ellen and Soren's third wedding ceremony and reception. I heard the bride and groom insisted it be on the Flying Chapel again. In the end, they were nice enough to invite me and Maya. And Athena kind of invited herself. They also invited Edgeworth, Emma, and even Larry. Even Larry? They say third time's a charm, right? I really do hope it's happily ever after for them this time around. Wait a second! We never got the hangout with the judge! Aw, man. Still, I get the feeling it's going to be one rowdy party.
Ready when you are.
Anime!
Okay, here we go! Huh? Oh.
Yeah!
Oh, hey! Look who's next! Huh?
Get back! Haven't you ever heard of ladies' response?
I'm truly blessed to have you.
Bravo, everyone! Bravo! Bravo, we did it! Oh my god, we did it! Oh my god, I did it! What the hell? You've unlocked a special bonus in the music and background setting screen? Okay. The artwork kind of reminds me of who's the dude? Tezuka? Yeah, I think it reminds me of like Astro Boy art style. I don't know what Tsunogai is, but it reminds me of Tezuka. Astro Boy. Kinda. Dude! Holy shit! 6 years later, I finally did it. I played every single Ace Attorney game on a Let's Play for my YouTube channel. We did it. We did it. We're here. Though we're not quite completely done. Oh, man. There is, of course, the museum. But that's gonna be a special bonus video. Now I hope everyone will stick around for this, cause once I'm done looking through everything and saying my thoughts on it, and maybe just recapping my feelings on Ace Attorney as a whole, like ranking the games maybe, I will announce what my next Let's Play project will be coming right up. And I think it is going to be a game that quite a few Ace Attorney fans would really enjoy watching, so please stick around for that next time. And then after that, of course, I'll be doing another special video where I use Tier Maker to rank every single Ace Attorney character against each other. So yes, we have 2 more videos to go before this Let's Play is done, but technically speaking, we're here at the end. I well and truly did it. We're done. Okay. Well. Yes, indeed. So that final case was very strong, I thought. Thematically, had such powerful themes. For a while during it, I was kind of sad that, this is kind of the note we're leaving on. This won't really reach the peak of Case 5 that had such a strong emotional ending and it had such a neat little bow. This case, yeah, I'm gonna finish it and then I'll be kind of like, oh man, was that really the best place to end things? But no, I'd say that final trial section turned everything around. I thought that was a marvelous story. So tragic in a rare way. yeah, I don't really have any complaints. That was a strong case all around. I'm glad I played it, definitely, for sure. Huh. Not to imply that there was ever a situation where I wouldn't go and play it. Of course, I'll play every Ace Attorney, and you better believe, dear viewer, that whenever there's a new Ace Attorney out on the scene, and it's available on PC, I'll be there, let's playing it, so keep an eye on my channel for future Ace Attorney, for Ghost Trick Phantom Detective in the future. That's not the next series. No, not the next series, but in the future. And the special bonus video where I look in the museum, the special bonus video where I rank all the characters, and the very next Let's Play I do, which I think Ace Attorney fans will be quite a big fan of, hopefully. And again, I'm announcing that next video, so keep an eye out. For now, well, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been the Ace Attorney franchise. Thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll catch you next time, whenever that may be. So until then, please take care.